Hey, this is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel, and we're going to have some fighting words. But before we go any further, as always, I need you to like this video and subscribe to the channel. So, I dropped the video talking about Adrien Broner versus Conor Benn. However, Adrien Broner has been blowing up Twitter and basically saying, I've been offered, but the offer wasn't a good offer. Eddie Hearn needs to spike that price up. Um, the issue with that is Adrian, I don't think he realizes that he may not be the A side. Um, Conor Benn is on a winning streak. Conor Benn is, I will say, definitely a big deal in the UK, but I think he could easily be a big deal in the US. And Adrian's not the A side. Adrian has not been the A side since, outside of like the Santiago fight, he hasn't been the A side in I don't know how long. Like you've been on a losing streak, and I think he's overpricing himself. I remember the last time that he had fought, he was talking, I want 10 million, I want 10 million, and I've never been the guy to get on here and talk about money and what some people earned or deserve or whatever the case. I think if you're going to put your life on the line, get as much as you possibly can. I've never been mad at Floyd for making $100 million. He ought to. He's getting punched in the head repeatedly, or at least there are people attempting to punch him in the head repeatedly. You can die from getting punched in the head repeatedly. So by all means, get as much money as you possibly can. That's not my issue. My issue here is simply just know your worth, which is good. Adrien Broner is like, hey, I know my worth as a human being, and I know my worth as a fighter, and I know what I generate and what I bring to the table. Okay, but that being said, you have not been in a big fight in a very long time. Like you say in the picture, but you're not like center stage. You haven't been center stage in a very long time. Conor Benn is rising very quickly in this game. And it doesn't hurt that his father is Nigel Benn. So that doesn't hurt as well. Um, Listen, as much as I love AB, you got to call a spade a spade. Conor Benn is the A side in this. Conor Benn is more than likely the one who's going to be making the shots. Now, he was talking about Eddie Hearn. He said that he was offered twice. And he basically, the money wasn't right to AB. Now, I don't know if he thinks he's going to get $10 million for fighting Conor Benn. Conor Benn's not going to make $10 million. I bet Conor Benn's not even going to make $5 million, nonetheless 10. Why in the world would we give it to the guy who we're basically using as a platform to step into the U.S. and make a name for him? Why would we give it to him? Does he deserve it? Like, that's a hard one to ask. That's a hard one to ask. You know what I'm saying? Do I think that Conor Benn has the type of following that would probably follow him to the U.S.? Probably. Probably. One thing I will say about UK fighters and fight fans, they're very supportive. They're extremely supportive. They will support their guy. A perfect example, you have Conor McGregor. The guy hasn't won a fight in I don't know how long, like 3 years. And they'll still come by the thousands and be like, this might be the one, so you get him back on track. They'll always support the guy, and I love that they support him. I don't knock that. It's very easy to say, well, you lost the last two. Why are we showing up? No, that's your countryman. You need to support yours. He's one of yours. He's one of you. Support him. So I love the fact that the UK that they always support their people, and it could be a very good chance that if Conor Benn and Adrien Broner were to fight, that crowd in the U.S. may be very well a pro-Ben crowd. So to say that, you want more money, I don't know exactly how much he was offered. I do know that a lot of fighters in the PBC have had dealings with Eddie Hearn, and none of them, and I'm talking from the Charlos on down, like nobody was like, this isn't the right amount of money, or, I'm sticking over here. I'm staying over here because what you're talking is chump change. So I don't know if he's just lowballing people. I don't know if I don't know if Eddie Hearn is lowballing people or AB is overpricing himself. I don't know. And I mean, in all honesty, what's the right price on your health? On your life. You know, and I feel like that price goes up once you become a family man. He has children, and let's just say this were his last fight. I need to make enough where I can support these kids until they go to college, and so it's a sticky area. However, if I were AB, I would not pass up on this offer. Let's just say, I don't know. Let's just say to AB, I'm making up numbers by the way. Let's just say to AB, $2 million is a very low number. But AB takes it and takes advantage of it and says, you know what? I'm going to take the $2 million and I'm going to fight this sensation who's coming over here from the UK. And let's just say he beats him. Well, your stock just went up. So no, you're not going to get $2 million your next time around. And again, your stock's about to go up because this guy's a big name. So your stock's about to go up. I don't want to say who has the bigger name. I think right now, hands down, honestly, Conor Benn has the bigger name. I think AB has the ability, once a contract is signed, to generate interest. But to say that he has a bigger name at this present moment than Conor Benn, I would be very cautious to say something like that. Conor Benn's on a win streak. Conor Benn is very just marketable in those ways. He doesn't get in trouble. He's not getting arrested. He's a family man. He's the son of boxing legend Nigel Benn. So he's doing everything right in terms of his career. And he has a lot of people guiding him, a lot of good people, a lot of inside people. One of those people being Tony Bellew. He stays very close to Tony Bellew. Tony Bellew is always guiding him and giving him advice. And so I don't know. If I were AB, if I were in his shoes, how do I say this? It's tricky because Conor Benn will put him back at welterweight, 147. AB does not need to fight at 147. He needs to fight at 140. That's where he needs to be, not 147, because he was not very successful at all. He was a gate holder, or matter of fact, a fight gauger. You would gauge how good somebody was if you stick him in there with AB. But he didn't do very well at 147. He did horrible at 147. What the heck am I talking about? He didn't do it very well. He needs to be at 140. Conor Benn is at 147. So what does that mean? Is Conor Benn coming down to 140? Because that would be, I don't know, kind of weird anyway. Because his goal is to be champ at 147 welterweight. And he's been calling out the Sean Porters. He's been calling out the Terrence Crawfords and the Earl Spences. So if you go down a fight, then what? Did you just do that just to make your entrance into the U.S.? But that's still not, let's just say if he blows out AB, it's still not impressive because you didn't do it at 147. So it's not like somebody like Danny Garcia is going to be like, whoa, that was impressive. No, it isn't, because he did it at 140. You're a 147 fighter and you're fighting at 140. That's not the most impressive thing to watch. If you're a welterweight, you're like, all right, well, that's good that he did it at 140, but, we're bigger. So what you did to him, you wouldn't necessarily do to me or anybody else in this category, in this weight class. So it still gets tricky. It gets tricky because what happens after that? Did you, even if AB is just an open door to the U.S., he's just an open door through 140. And let's just say AB says, fine, I'll go to 147. Then the other argument is AB was never good at 147. So if you beat, it's literally a catch-22. If you beat AB at 140, well, you beat a smaller man, but you're a welterweight. But if you beat him at 147, you beat a guy who was not successful at welterweight. Either way, you're going to get flack. So Do I think it's a great fight? I would love to see that fight. I honestly would. I think that'd be I think that'd be a great fight. As the British say, it'd be a tear. But I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't know if Eddie Hearn sees the value in Adrien Broner. I know Adrien Broner can make a little fight into a big fight because I know, styles makes fights, that's true. But personalities make bigger fights. You know, Ali Frazier wouldn't have been what it was if Frazier didn't have the attitude that he had and Ali didn't have the mentality and attitude that he had to generate something big. So, you look at when Floyd Mayweather did 24/7. You got Oscar De La Hoya, who's clean cut, seemingly at the time, and then you have Floyd Mayweather, who's wild and reckless, but he's just child prodigy. So that's spontaneous combustion. It's just gonna make for good TV. What do you think this is gonna be? Son of a boxing legend with this guy who's unpredictable and wild, in and out the ring. What do you think that's gonna turn into? Will it generate? Yes, a lot of revenue. But who knows? I do hope we see it. I hope Eddie Hearn is as persistent as I have always given him credit for, and he will make a better offer, something that AV can live with, and we can get this fight rolling. But it still leaves the question, if they fight at 140, what does that really mean? If Conor wins, if they fight at 147, what does that really mean if Conor wins? Like, it means something for Adrien, but it don't mean jack for Conor. Like, so it's kind of a mess, but because of what these two could bring to the ring and to the microphones, it's a beautiful mess. But I want to know what you think. As always, drop me some comments down below. And as always, please like and subscribe to the channel.